What's going on, Paisanos? V here. Come at you guys. Well, with another market watch today. Ghost in the Past is debuting, well, technically tomorrow, but if you have an OTS shop near you, you'll be able to get it today. There's also a chance of Walmart might have it early because that also happens, and a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players more than likely are going to be buying it. Even though the set is not as good as other previous sets, Yu-Gi-Oh players are still going to be buying it in droves, which is going to tell you a good guesstimation of what's going to happen to those single prices. So if you're out there right now and you're looking to buy, or maybe you have already bought and you're waiting to receive your Ghost in the Past, comment question of the day. What are you looking to pull in it? Obviously, with Ghost Rares aside, what else? Don't just be lazy and go, V, I want to pull Ghost Rare this, Ghost Rare that, Ghost Rare this. Cool, it's like one per case. So what are you really looking to pull besides the Ghost Rares in Ghost in the Past? Let me know in the comment section down below. Personally speaking, I haven't pre-bought any Ghost in the Past. But one thing I'm really excited to see is the Sun Avalons. They look really fun and something that are relatively different in the game. And I'm actually looking forward to eventually getting a deck for them and trying them out. Looking at Dual Devastator though, this box set was such a good box set. And we're going to point a couple of things out really unique about why I think a lot of people don't understand, or not even a lot of people, just a certain amount of people don't understand why the Yu-Gi-Oh player base, almost as a whole, is upset about Ghost in the Past. We've been sold a bad check. Looking at Dual Devastator, was phenomenal. We knew it had all the hand traps we reprinted in there. One being Ash Blossom Joy Spring, currently being $20 in the Ultra Rare. Alternate art with the feed pictures, if you know, for people who like that. We got a bunch of amazing staples. Solemn Strike, Cosmic Cyclone, Pseudopody, Corpus of Grave, Saryuja, Effect Failure, Gamma Steel, DD Crow. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Dual Devastator was insanely undervalued when it first debuted into the Yu-Gi-Oh player base. And looking at it right now, the value of a sealed box is roughly around $45. Not a bad price. And then we have Dual Overload. When this set was coming out, well, pre-pandemic, it actually changed the way Yu-Gi-Oh players looked at the game. Because not only were we getting Needle Fiber, a highly anticipated card, but we were getting Pen and Akane, which later on, right now, is roughly around $43. We also got cards like Union Carrier, which eventually got banned, being the fact that it was behind the FTK, Infinity Gates, all kinds of actually like Lockout. This card was insane, and still is. So to see Union Carrier be here, you know, you also got, once again, Crystal Needle Fiber and Akane, Celine, which eventually helped a lot of players Link Climb, and the Axis Code Talker. This was also a great set. Oh yeah, it also had Infinite Permanents. Then on top of all that deliciousness, here's a cherry of Infinite Permanents. Phenomenal set. Then we go to Dual Power. Another amazing set. Dual Power having cards like Evenly Match, obviously a highly wanted card at the time. Of course, Infinite Permanents, that's the cherry. Then you go to Ash Blossom Joy Spring. Cards like Galaxy Soldier, which desperately needed a reprint. Erratic Seals of Heavenly Spears, which, even though it did get a reprint in Ghost in the Past, you know, good reprint, for a while was a good amount of money. Other cards like Quintet Magician spiked in value, and other great reprinted cards, including other hand traps like Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. It just had a ton of things, including a full Necros reprint, something that hasn't been done ever in this game. Then we have Ghost in the Past. If only they called it Duel from the Past. Because literally everything in this game that says Duel in it is just really good. Like, really good. And then we have Ghost in the Past. And I felt like a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players were excited because we were getting another reprint set behind the backs of all these amazing other reprint sets. And a lot of players were going, yes, Ghost Rares? Is that the cherry on top? Because we've been getting Perm, but I'll take a Ghost Rare over in Perm. And then when players get this set, we see this set, we get the full spoiler, what do we really have here? Well, we have deck cores, and I think that's something really interesting to note. Dragoonie comes in here. We'll talk about that later on in this video. Sun Avalons comes in here. That's pretty amazing. There's a lot of support that I think you guys, if you are looking to build that deck, that's kind of low in the market right now. Some of it is slowly being bought out. We'll point that out as well. Lavals are in here, though you wouldn't notice. There's a lot of other good cards are in here. There's not many reprints as there are a lot of deck cores in Ghosts from the Past. Now, later on in the week, if not next week, we're going to be going over it and specifically talking about singles that I think are really good singles to snipe. But right now, if you look at Ghosts from the Past prices on TCG Player, you'll go, V, you're insane. These card prices are all over the place. There's so much money, is what normal players would say, right? Sure. Except until we click on one of the cards. Click on a random card. Dragoonie Legatus. And then you realize, this is a pre-sale price. This is not real price. And this goes back to what I said over and over again. if you can pre-sell cards on TCG Player, you have a huge advantage. Pre-selling is specifically made for OTS stores, well, stores in general, actually, it's not really OTS stores, who have been selling on TCG Player and have made a huge amount of sales. I think it's like 300 sales in the past 30 days, and amongst other things, qualifiers, that will allow them to be able to pre-sell. And we see it over here, stores be able to pre-sell. And what we're seeing is a lot of people go on and list these cards up, and we're seeing $6 Draguni Legatas. It's not going to be $6 on released. In fact, looking at it goes from the past, a lot of these cards are not going to maintain their price points. The only card I think we almost guaranteed that will maintain a semblance of its price point would more likely be the Ghost Rares. But is that necessarily true? Well, yes and no. Ghost Rare Crystal Wing Single Dragon is only stable at $395. You also got the Firewall Dragon. That's a little bit under at $390. Black Soldier, $465, under its almost $500 market price. Blue as Alternative, being roughly around $480, underneath its $500 market price. And then you have Dark Magician, which at one point was $500, and it actually went up $617 market price, the value being $675. So I'm going to answer the question that's going to be asking me over and over again, and somehow I'm just getting to it right now, and whoever asked this, can someone else answer it for me? I'd greatly appreciate that. V, do I go in and do I specifically buy the Ghost Rare singles? It's a great question. No, and here's why. Looking at these cards, I think we can clearly see 4 out of 5 of these Ghost Rares are going to be going down in value. They're not needed as much as Dark Magician. Now, here's where I twist it on you. If you think Dark Magician is going to go high in value and stay high and be king, not really. It's going to hold good value, and will more than likely not tank like the other Ghost Rares, which I think we will see them drop significantly from what they currently are right now in the market. Looking at Ghost Rare Dark Magician, obviously collectors market's going to want to eat at that, but a lot of other Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to want to eat at that as well. The thing is, will it hold a near $700 price point? That's a great question. I don't think none of us know, due to the fact that we don't know the full pull ratios. I'm hearing 1 per case, 1.5 per case for some ungodly reason. We really don't know. The only thing we do know is that these ratios are still a lot easier to pull than like Starlight Rares, which will definitely factor into the value. You can say V Starlight Rares are 1 per case, but there's a lot of people that will disagree with you. Looking at Ghost in the Past, I don't think you should buy any Ghost Rares at all. Wait 1 week, and maybe within a week, we'll talk about these prices. Talk about whether it's good to buy or not buy. I personally want to buy one of each of these Ghost Rares, but there's smart money and there's dumb money. Don't throw your dumb money into the pit of just debt. You don't need to do that. You can wait. A lot of people are going to be hyped about the set. A lot of people are going to be buying into the set. Collectors are already buying Dark Magician. That's why the prices rise, by the way, because people buy into the pre-sale prices, and more than likely those people are going to be collectors. But we will see a lot of people open this set, sort this set out, and throw it on the market and recoup the initial investment. Realize people overspent for sealed Ghosts from the Past. Please do not forget that. It ain't like other sets we could talk about where like they've risen a little bit of value because people bought out everything, and there's some that people were rebuying. Like, you know, let's say I bought like 20 cases and I bought at MSRP from a shop owner, or I bought a little higher MSRP for a shop owner, and then I go on, I see the fact that a set's gonna be good, like Toon Chaos, let's say, and then I sold it a little bit higher. These sets were sold at obscure sealed prices, to the point where, like, I think, I could be wrong, I think a case of Ghost in the Past was roughly around $465, I'm going to guess, and then we look at cases selling on eBay for as high as $1,500. People are going to get burned on this set, and they're going to want to recoup some of that money. Nobody wants to be the loser at the end of the day in the secondary market. So once again, please, if you're patient, you go buy these cards for pennies on the dollar, and I'm not even kind of joking with you on that one. Looking at all the Ultra Rares, though, it's cool to see... Hold on a second. It's cool to see Dragoon Ramus be a $40 card, higher than its $28 market price, but we'd have to see what happens. Because I do think that will go down. Same with Evenly Matched and the rest of these cards. Not that these cards are bad, by the way. These are not bad cards. And some of these reprints are pretty well needed, actually, in Ghost in the Past. It's needed big time. But is it really worth going in and grabbing these cards now? No, absolutely not. Because these cards obviously are on pre-sale prices. The day one release cards are people trying to open the product and sorting and debating what they want to sell. I'm saying by like Monday we can start engaging into this market and talking about whether or not you should buy or not buy. By Wednesday, I think we should start making our moves in the market, and that is literally the time frame we do it in. We don't need to rush this because other people rush to buy the sealed product. That's their mistake. Let's not make it ours. And that's the way I feel about Ghost in the Past. I think a lot of people got burned by the set, and I think a lot of people are trying to make their money back. And I think a lot of smart investors out there are just going, okay, instead of buying displays of this set, there's no reason to, I'm going to go ahead and buy singles. You could buy deck cores for dirt cheap and have every single deck core and still spend less than a case of Ghost in the Past. You could go ahead and buy the singles and still spend less than a case of Ghost in the Past and have every single in the Ghost in the Past minus the Ghost Rares. And we would see about that in the future. So please, wait. Some of these might be a little bit excited, and maybe with the extravaganza this weekend, we might see some of these deck cores actually meet top tables, which obviously would immediately change the price point and the hype behind these. But if there's no Ghost in the Past decks like Sun Avalon or Dragoonies, being in the top tables of the extravaganza, you can be damn sure the values will tank even worse than they currently are right now. It's a weird time right now for this set, and anyone holding this set, you are playing the ultimate lotto, and I hope you win out, but the odds are pretty stacked. Looking at the Winged Dragon Raw Ghost Rare, I just thought about something when I clicked on this card and checked it out. Konami brought Winged Dragon Raw Ghost Rare, and we loved it. I mean, we loved it. Look at the prices. With a $275 market price, the value is still roughly around $275. That's a pretty significant amount of money from Winged Dragon Raw out of Legendary Duelist Rage of Raw. Legendary Duelist Rage of Raw, which really didn't have anything significant other than the Winged Dragon Raw Ghost Rare, which is pretty cool if you think about it. This set wasn't like big in value, but what Raw was. And Konami saw that and they were like, you know what? We're gonna do that for Ghost in the Past. We're gonna add Ghost Rares. So here's my question: are we gonna see Ghost Rares do this weird thing in which, because Ghost Rares used to be in the main sets, the core sets, every core set, but Konami's now, I think Konami's using Ghost Rares as a sprinkle, and that adds a very interesting question. Because if they're doing that, well, sets like Legendary Duelist Rage of Raw, which realistically didn't have crazy value, but had a $275 Ghost Rare, they did the same thing with Ghost in the Past. How bad is Ghost in the Past then? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Because this set is not good, Legendary Duelist Rage of Raw, but Winged Dragon Raw Ghost Rare is. And will Konami do this moving forward? And if they do we hold whatever set they're going to sell some Ghost Rares on with the same skepticism that we held Rage of Raw, that we should have held for Ghost in the Past? That's a very good question. And to be honest with you, I think we have to now, because you burned people twice. Are you going to be allowed to be burned 3 times? Listen, I think Nadir Servant out of Rise of the Duels, I think Dogmatica in general is not really that good right now. We're still seeing some Shadow players play Dogmatic, of course. I get it. I don't personally like it, but I see them do it. I think Dogmatic is better off in decks like Necros, which it can really abuse both effects easily. But looking at the Nadir Servant Rise of the Duelist, it doesn't matter what I think about it, because the market is showing the fact that this card is rising. People are not selling, and realistically, when are we going to get a Dogmatica reprint in general? Looking at the Nadir Servant out of Rise of the Duelist with a $94 market price, the value is roughly around $85, right? Kinda. Then it goes to $90, and that's where it stays for a good amount of time. Page bombs out roughly around $93 for Nadir Servant. It's acceptably $80, realistically roughly around $90 for a copy for this card. The prices out of Rise of Duels are just getting absolutely insane. And we're seeing not only that card be hit 90, Talons be over 100, Drop of 100, Ultra Rares like Ice Dragon Prison Schism be at insanely high prices, amongst many other cards in Rise of the Duelist. It would have been really great if you had reprinted this in Ghost in the Past. Now that we know that's not the case, well, let's figure out what happens with the next reprint set. Because whatever reprint set has these cards in it will more than likely have a good amount of value. We know this by looking at the other reprint sets. So keep an eye out for any reprint set that announces cards like Nadir Servant, Talent. We know Droplet's going to get an Ultimate Rare, but even still, it announces another Droplet. They've done it before. Why would they not reprint an ulti recently released in the OTS pack in any other set? They literally did it with Ghost in the Past. Twice. Ice Dragon Prison, Schism. So we have to keep an eye on whatever reprint announcement has these cards in it, because that's more than likely going to be a good reprint set to buy. There are good reprint sets. I showed you 3 of them at the beginning of this video. There's definitely more. Real quickly, guys, I just want to say, I always forget, if you want to support me on TCG Player, click the links below. There's a TCG Player link. Click on that, and whatever you buy, I get a percentage off. You guys don't pay nothing extra. Also, I have Twitch. I stream Monday to Fridays, ideally, and I'd greatly appreciate you guys come over on Twitch. Give me a follow. YGO_Paisano. Links to be down below as well. And, yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already. Jizukuri, the Star Destroying Kaiju, is not really being used right now. But it doesn't matter. The card with a $5 market price is still roughly around $5. In fact, looking at the other Kaijus as well, not just Jizukuri, they're all starting to rise in value. Secret Rare Intergalactic Kaiju Slumbers being roughly around $7.50, and the Super Rare out of Baker's Shells is still roughly around $5. I mean, Kaiju is just worth them a lot of money right now because think about it. Everyone is playing these really hard buys on board. Winda, Dragoon, unfun cards, Caliga, you know. So everyone's seeing these cards and they're like, how can I just get, I want to go 1-for-1 on these annoying cards. Especially if it's even more bonus points if you could do it to a Dragoon. Because you gotta realize you spent 2 bosses, 2,000 life points, put 1 Dragoon on board, pass turn, and if you could just go hold this Kaiju for 1 Dragoon, how much did your opponent really lose? A lot, to be honest with you. And you gave them a Kaiju. So I do think that there's a lot of value in the Kaijus. I do think moving forward, I always said before and I said again, it's great to have a playset of each of these. For rarities, it's up to you. Secret Rare Chimera Seals are still like $9. I own both a playset of each of Super Rare, Super Rares, and I don't know. Am I the only one? I like Super Rares a lot. Anyway. Galaxy Expedition at OTS 1 Pack 9 with an almost an $8 market price is not $8. It's actually roughly around $10. Now, this is one version of it. This was also an ultra rare version of Galaxy Expedition. That version out of the 2013 Zexo Collection 10 with a $7 market price is also roughly around $10 to $11 and then $12 for Galaxy Expedition. I always chalk this up to like Photon players or Galaxy players, depending on how you want to look at it, just being really excited about their new support. That's probably not going to do anything for them, unfortunately. And if you're a Photon player or a Galaxy player and you're watching me right now, you know already. The longer you play, I think the more you know. If you just got into it, you're like, you're lying, V. And after set will release, after set will release, after set will release, and your deck does not really do anything, you slowly go, I just hope for the best. Into, yeah, we're not getting anything. Cool, I'm going to add to my collection. Really wish this was a good deck, Konami. But unfortunately, it's not. But looking at cards like Galaxy Expedition, whatever version you have, it's roughly around $10. If you're not playing this deck, it's good to sell. Then we have Scrap. So, Scrap in Photon Overdrive, I just butchered that set. It's okay, whatever. In the new set, whose name I can never get right, we're getting a new monster that's really good for dinos. But if you are looking to play that Dino Scrap variant, you're still going to need cards like Scrapyard, which is roughly around $20. You're going to need 1 Chimera, being $14. I think Scrap Dragon's a phenomenal card. We'll talk about that in a second. But you're going to need Scrap Refrigerator, which is still $3 at OTS 13. Not bad. Dirt cheap right now. If you're only going to play that, you need to pick one of these up quickly. Look at Scrap Dragon Ultimate Rare Deuce Revolution with a $21 market price. Unlimited version of this card is roughly around $30. And first edition version of this card start roughly around $51. After that one's gone, by the way, the price point goes to $75 for Ultimate Rare Scrap Dragon. This card, you guys. I really like this card a lot. It's really used good in 2011 format, and you know what? To be honest with you, the card has a really good effect. Just because it's not being used now doesn't mean it can't be used in the future. Also, it's Ultimate Rare at a Deuce Revolution. You're not going to be able to find a lot of those lying around. Where Arfdal is a card that could be used in some Avalanche, and I think if you had to tell me, V, what is the best decks coming out of Ghost in the Past, like deck cores? I would go, it's tied. I don't know if Dragoon is the best deck or Sun Avalanche. I like the way Sun Avalanche plays, so I'm impartial, but I'm not going to say that Dragoonies are not one of the best decks as well. They're getting a lot of support, and they're going to be really good in Ghost in the Past. But Sun Avalanche are really underlooked at, and they're really good. They have a lot of insane effects. You know, a quick effect to affect Veiler on both eye player's turn, pretty broken, as well as many other broken effects. One of the cards that the deck can play is Where Art Thou. Now, if you want the highest version of the card, came out of OTS Tournament Pack 13 with a $2 market price. Well, you get it for about $1.52 with shipping. Not bad. You're going to need 3 of these. Then we have Rescue Rabbit out of Photon Shockwave. This secret rare with a $24 market price. Right now is at $25 for Unlimiteds. Then it's $30. Then it's $40. You want a first edition version? No big deal. You start at roughly around $80. After that one's gone, by the way, it goes to $90. Unless you want Italian at $70. Doesn't look bad Italian, by the way. Let's go. Let me see what you got there. See what we're working with. Conogrio da Socroso. By the way, look at those dents. That's not how you played. What are you doing? You should know better. With that rating, you should definitely know better. How you played? No, that's not how you played at all. Okay. Anyway. This is the version of the card you might want to pick up if you're looking to play some Avalanche. Now, you don't have to get a secret rare. No big deal. It came super rare for roughly around $1. Also came in the common in the Dynamaster Fury structure deck. So cool, there's that. But yeah, you can get super rare for $1. But if you want the highest rarity, there it is. I mentioned this card about 2 weeks ago. It was roughly around $40 for first editions, and it's rising in value. Another card that I might see play in 2011 format also is going to be seeing play in common day format. Double the value. This card in the market never stays even this low, even though it looks kind of high to you, but it's really low compared to where it's going to go. So keep an eye on that. Then we have Unexpected Die. The original print out of Cross Souls, also being used in Sun Avalon with a near $6 market price, is actually roughly around $8. But watch this: $8, $9, $10. After that one's gone, by the way, it goes to $11. They're all solo print listings on TCG Player. No, I didn't do magic. I'm not a magician, okay? You know, I'm not into that kind of thing. I just tell you things that go up in value. Now listen, Unexpected Die, Cross Souls, whatever. You say V, Too Rich for My Blood, cool. Maximum Gold has a rare for 10 cents. Legendary Duels is a common, and there's another common. But if you want the highest rarity, biggest flex, because you want to let everybody know that you're playing Sun Avalons, then this is super rare. This is the one you need to get. Okay, up next. Painful Decisions is another tech choice you can run. Nobody's looking at this one, actually. This is my favorite one because everyone's looking at all those other cards. But this is yet another phenomenal card you can run. Obviously, it came in Structure Deck Dynamaster Fury. Everything evidently came in there. 2016 Mega Tin, Mega Pack, Mega Fruit has this card roughly around $1. But if you want the original print at Dimension of Chaos, I'm talking like Giga Chad levels, $2 market price. Lightning Pay Unlimited, roughly around $3 to $4. First edition, roughly around $4 with shipping. This is it right here. If you guys don't know what this card does, let me explain. Send one level 4 or lower no monster from your deck to the graveyard. And if you do, add one monster with the same name as a card from your deck to your hand. You're going to activate one of these per turn. Actually, insanely good. Like, insanely good. And nobody's looking at it right now. And that's kind of the reason why I like Painful Decision as well. Okay. So, like I said before, I think Dragoonies is definitely one of the other decks in Ghost of the Past you gotta look out for. Whether or not you want to place Dragoonies or Sun Avalon, it means nothing to the players that you're playing against, especially this weekend at the Remote Extravaganza that you're trying to get your tour guide playmat, or in the main event as you're trying to get your invite, or if you're trying to make top 16. Like, if you don't know what Dragoonies are trying to do, or Sun Avalon's trying to do, you are the buy. It's the same thing with Prank Kids. And I feel like this weekend a lot of players are going to lose a lot of games that they should have otherwise won because they didn't look into Dragoonies, Sun Avalons, and Prank Kids. You don't have to look at the Lavals. I'll give you the pass on that one. But like those other 3 decks, pretty important to look at. And learn. Because the minute you learn and see what they want to do and what they're trying to do to you, it's easier for you to stop them from doing that or to make them not even have the ability to do that in the first place. Looking at all these cards, though, I will say Dragooni's obviously going up insanely high in value. It's being bought out left and right. And I'm really excited to see if anyone can make this deck better than Dragonlance. Because I think the problem with anyone playing Dragoonies is you got Dragoonies or you got Dragonlance. And they're both not bad options. But which one is the better deck? There's no, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are they both the better deck? Or is one better than the other? And if it is, why? And we'll see. Then, once again, like I said, with Sun Avalons, I'm really, really, really pumped about this deck. I won't be able to have it, unfortunately, on time for the Extravaganza, nor would I even play an Extravaganza if I even got today, due to the fact that you need a lot of testing with this deck. But it's a really interesting and really fun deck that's really bent around plant-based, vanilla monster summoning. It has that old kind of mechanic where you can use cards like Rescue Rabbit, you can use cards like Unexpected Die, you can use cards like Painful Decision. But when you put the links on board, they all have new age mechanics, which are insanely broken. And I'm really excited to see players this weekend try to play these cards against me and get bodied, because I don't care. Should don't vote best deck. Listen, Paisanos, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And you know what? If you watch this video this long, guess what? Bonus comment question of the day. What deck are you playing at the Extravaganza this weekend? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm more than likely going to be playing the best deck in the meta. I just decided why not? Why roll up to a movie in a Bentley when you can roll up in a Rolls Royce? Bentleys are nice. Rolls Royce? Pfft. That's style. Tier 0 style. It's your boy V, and you Paisanos have a great day.